Yep, that magic moment has arrived again. We're on the air.
Yes, we are.
And I know that just tickles your fancy. And Duane and I are a couple of old ticklers, and we're happy to do it.
And look out, because Bill's got his red shirt on.
That's right. And I'm telling you, we got some stuff today that's going to drive you out of your mind. But first of all, I've got a poll I've got to talk to you about.
Okay.
Came in the paper this morning, and I gotta tell you, just simply, it boggles my mind. It's the NBC Wall Street poll. Now, Clinton, 58% of the voters polled say they don't see themselves supporting her in the general election.
Is this all voters?
Yeah.
Okay.
58%. 41% could see themselves backing her. So that means 41 yays, 58 nays.
Mm-hmm.
Cruz, who, this is silly because he's just floating out.
After, was it yesterday?
Yeah. I mean,
It was so shallow, it's so obvious.
yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. 61% say they could not vote for Cruz. Mm-hmm. And remember now, she's at 58% that will not vote for her. Cruz, 61%. Trump says, voters say 68% say no to Trump. Now, with negatives like that, nobody's ever going to get elected, I guess.
So, did you see the headlines today in the Sun Chronicle?
Which one?
Which candidates are hated the least?
Yeah.
It's not which one's the best, which one's hated the least.
But here's the one that really, now this is just, I don't like the person.
Yep.
Bernie Sanders is the only candidate who is not underwater. 49% say they would vote for him. 48% said no.
I could almost fit into that category because I don't like his politics. But as an individual, he's the least obnoxious of the three.
Yes, he
or
is.
four.
Yeah. I mean, his politics, his plans. I mean, he's a lunatic.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Further questions from the same poll. You know, do you remember taking aptitude tests in the Army?
God, yes.
God. Some of them were great. I enjoyed them, but they'd ask you the same question 11 different ways.
I think there's a method to that to see if you're...
Oh, I know there is.
Because you think, wait a minute, I just answered this thing or something like it.
So here's a further carry on from this same poll.
Okay.
Clinton, 32% view her positive, 56% negative. Pretty damn close to 2-1.
It sure is.
Trump, 24% positive, 65% negative. Holy cow, isn't there a single likable candidate? There isn't.
We said that from the get-go.
Yeah, we did.
With a country this big and this much talent that's out there, how do we end up with this group?
Black magic, I think. That's unbelievable. These numbers are unbelievable.
Yep.
I sit there, this morning I was doing this and I'm laughing like crazy about this. I'm saying, how can this be happening? Well, so much for that. Now, I save, is this it? Yeah, okay. Cruz and Trump were quizzed at one point in time, and I wrote down the results because I was watching it. Cruz, the three most important factors in this election: jobs, freedom, security.
3 safe items.
Yep. Trump. Now, I would have thought they would have bumped into each other a little bit, but they didn't.
Really?
Yeah. Jobs, freedom, security with Cruz. Trump, trade, immigration, foreign policy.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If you
Now,
think of it,
yeah.
where they're headed.
Now, those are 6 great subjects. Now, so I had to put my thinking cap on now. And I'm saying to myself, 6 great subjects from the Republicans. What would Hillary's 6 most important items be?
Oh, God. Equal pay for women.
Okay, guess what?
one?
Gender wages
There
was
you
the
go.
first one I wrote. Go ahead with number 2.
God, let's see. What's she always quacking about?
Bang.
Oh, gun control.
Gun
How could
control.
how could I miss that thing?
The middle.
You didn't wear your NRA shirt today. I didn't remind me.
The middle class.
Yeah.
Now, sort of in an amorphous fashion, she talks a lot about the middle class. And I feel your pain and all, but
Sure you
she
do.
doesn't really get specific about
No.
it. But I put that down. Raising taxes on the rich. The evil banking system.
Oh, my. She and Bernie.
Forgiveness. Yeah, she's just following his
Yeah, yeah.
tail on that one. Forgiveness of college debt.
Yep.
The $15 minimum wage. But that's it. She's the former Secretary of State, the architect of Obama's failed foreign policy, but I don't think she dares to mention that.
That's going to be a third rail for her.
Oh boy.
That is
Yep.
going to be a real third rail.
Yep. Now, backing up on this, I happened to see, I was screwing off the computer today, and I was looking at polls and stuff. Crime concerns more people today than at any point in time since 2001. It outstrips terrorism and climate change both.
I can see it outstrips climate change because
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Look, the climate's changing, but it's been changing since the creation
yeah,
of time.
we've been through
Yeah,
heat tropical sessions. We've been through ice ages here.
mini ice ages.
One time Alaska was tropical.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, look, it's a constant state of change. So to say, arguing about climate change, what the green people say is
Yeah.
they want to blame it all on human beings.
Yeah.
That's it. There's
I don't think
no
that's the case.
other forces at all.
We
which
may
is
we may have an
madness.
effect on it to somewhat, but not.
Yeah.
It's not doomsday apocalypse that they're calling for.
And it is not proven science either.
No.
Because there's just as many scientists that say, you know what, you guys are nutbags, you don't know what you're talking about, and they just lob hand grenades at each other. But crime. Now, maybe Cruz under security might have said, well, no, wait a minute, Bill. That's what I meant by security, was secure from crime. But nonetheless, certainly Hillary, for one reason or another, is not going to talk about crime.
No.
No, that's another 3
She's got too many closets too many skeletons in the closet with her staffs and her associates.
And she's also got to face up to something else, too. The last 10 years of economic growth came out, I think it was last month. I wrote it down here. And I can't blame all this on Obama, but you can blame damn close to 8 years of the 10 on him.
Yep.
10 straight years of less than 3% economic growth using the GNP as the yardstick. An average of 2.2% per year. Now, when we hit rock bottom in that recession, the Great Recession, they're calling it, the only way you fight your way out of that is with really 5-alarm chili kind of growth.
Yep.
Get some hot stuff here and get some 4 and 5% growth numbers. They never even broke 3%.
No.
So, I mean, how she can possibly run on his economic record and do it with a straight face is beyond me. But she, you know what?
She'll try.
She will.
Oh, yeah. She'll.
Yeah. Well, this is certainly going to be an eclectic bunch of concerns I have.
Okay.
The Sun Chronicle's pathetic editorial writers.
Oh,
The
my
worst I've ever read. Bill Gouveia.
God. Oh,
Oh, the courage of the town of Mansfield to approve legalized marijuana and allow them to have a store.
Yep.
The courage, the wisdom.
he's
Pathetic.
isn't he a selectman in Norton? Or
He used to
something?
be.
Or used to
Used to be, yeah. Bill Zuck, he's a mystery.
I see him in the Sunday paper, and
Yeah.
he's weak.
Tom Riley is he just
Yeah.
tries to be funny, but he's not
He's
funny.
not funny.
Jim Hand, I
Oh,
know, is
oh
your
my God.
special favorite.
He irritates the hell out of me.
And Betsy Shea Taylor.
Taylor. Yep.
Oh, she retired, as a employee at the
Yeah, that's right.
editorial page. She should have stayed retired. And Larry Kessler, who is a whiner and a crier. We will save them for the next couple of months. I'm going to save, I'm not going to say I'm going to save all the editorials, but every one that I find weak, lame, or stupid, I'm going to save.
Yeah.
We'll have a little dog and pony show, you and I, of critiquing
Okay.
this bunch. I love this little line here. Bill de Blasio, the mayor of New York City, he wants to let illegal aliens vote. Of course, our Constitution forbids this, but he wants to do it anyway. Would you explain to me what that is all about? Is he that insane?
No.
No.
Which button are they going to press?
Oh, no. Politics rears its ugly head
It
again.
certainly does.
Imagine that. I am so naive.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We've discussed this before, but it bears repeating. Mideast values and morality is in conflict with Western civilization, lifestyle, and value systems.
Certainly is. We got to overlook a whole lot when we start dealing with that.
The
those
immigration
cultures.
into Europe
Yep.
is an untenable situation doomed to violent failure. If in fact these unfortunate people migrated into certain countries and just said, we're here to work, mind our own business and keep our mouths shut and see if we can get along with everybody. But they're not. They want to start changing things.
Yep.
You can't have churches. It's got to be mosques, Sharia law.
They want their own little enclave. No more. In some of the areas, they don't even want police to go in there.
Yeah.
Because they don't want
Right.
any other law enforcement in there.
Yeah, and we retain the right too to have our public address system have these call for prayers 5 times a day, even early in the morning when every normal people are sleeping.
Can't have a rooster, but you can have a.
Yeah,
You can have that.
you can have the call to prayers. Jeepers creepers. I don't know about you, but I say my prayers every day, but I don't need a call to do it.
No, I don't either.
Disturb my neighbors. This is a good one. So I'm setting you up for
I
this.
can get that
This
look
is
when you look
coming.
at me like that.
From-
We don't rehearse any of this. We have no idea what he's going to come up with. Sometimes I sit here like a deer in the headlights. That's because he caught me flat-footed.
Makes for better television that way.
It's like bloopers all over.
That's it.
An hour of bloopers.
From a black talking head on a television talk show on why they want Hillary. And I wrote this down. It may not be perfect, but it's verbatim.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a feeling among blacks that we've been left behind. And this is what we expect from Hillary as president: jobs, opportunities, and pay raises. But who left them behind the past 8 years?
The one they used to call the black president.
They're all,
Mr. Billy Clinton.
oh, you mean the, oh, no, no, I'm talking about Obama.
Well, but I mean,
Yes.
before that already,
Yep,
he was considered in the black
Yeah,
community. He
right.
was a black president.
yep. But Obama for the past 8 years, where has he been on jobs, opportunities, and pay raises that they have to elect Hillary now to get those things? Hello?
And it does.
This doesn't add up.
No, it's nonsense.
It doesn't
Most of it.
compute.
Just
I heard an Arab American on Fox the other day. He's great. And he made the point: racial profiling, accusations regarding Islam is absurd. Islam is not a race, nor is it an ethnicity. It is an ideology. How stupid can some of these left-wing whack jobs be to infer that Islam is that they're profiling? Yeah, racial profiling, when it's not a race and it's not a religion. It's an ideology, you know. He said, this is crazy. But anyway,
you know, I have nothing. I have no problem with profiling.
I have no problem with profiling either. If a subset of the population is doing 80% of
That's
the
right.
crimes, then, gee,
It's like the airlines.
That's-
I have no problem. I think Israel doesn't have problems because they profile. Boy, with a
better
capital
believe
P.
it.
You come in looking like an Arab or a Muslim, you're going right in the back room. We're going to talk to you.
and that's the way it should be.
Yep.
My word. No, this is a little something about nothing, but a wise man said, it's one thing to have a Bible, it's another to read it.
To read it. Yep. Oh my God, that was very true.
I love that. Illegals should have access to Obamacare, so saith Hillary Clinton.
Of course.
This woman, her motto for the election is, I'll be the one that turns on the spigot.
Yep.
Free everything for everybody.
She and Bernie are together on that.
Boy, oh boy.
The,
Well, Chelsea Clinton. You know, with Chelsea and Bill helping Hillary out.
does she work now, or she just?
No, she's got the Clinton Foundation.
Oh, okay,
She's
that's
major domo there or something. Chelsea Clinton said the following. And by the way, they had a kid.
Yeah,
her
they
and her
did.
husband, yeah.
Yep.
I wonder, well, I'm sure the nanny's doing a good job raising the kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Chelsea Clinton said the following on Good Friday. Mom will do whatever it takes to eliminate the crushing cost of Obamacare. I'm wondering why Mom doesn't address this subject.
Mom doesn't have an answer.
But Chelsea said she's going to do whatever it takes to eliminate the crushing cost of Obamacare. Now, I ask you, sir,
Yes, sir.
how come we haven't seen this soundbite over and over and over?
Because it was something I just thought up.
Yeah, but I didn't see it on national television,
No.
on the news shows. Any of the CNN shows, I haven't seen any reference to
No.
this. Huh. Well, that's strange. Just a reminder, by the way, another liar in the family, Bill Clinton, promised a middle-class tax cut. And after the election said he never worked harder on anything in his life, but he just couldn't do it. I bet you he never said that to Monica Lewinsky.
Just what I was going to say, and I'm thinking, how can I phrase this without getting beeped or cut off?
Oh. Well, Hillary used the following banner for her campaign. Worse coverage, higher prices, that's Obamacare.
There are some horrible. She could.
Yeah, if
there are some real horror stories.
you know, I think that this is the beginning of, and I get a couple more quotes from Billy too later on in there. That's going to be the vehicle she's going to use to break away from Obama. She's not going to do it herself.
Yeah.
But Willie and Chelsea are going to be the ones that throw the snowballs. Confession time. I've never taken a selfie.
You're right. I don't have a camera to do it with. That's.
I don't. What? You know, you see on television, you see Hillary and some person with her, and they hold the thing up, and everybody. What possesses a person to want to have a picture of himself or herself with Hillary Clinton, or with Bill Clinton, or with Governor Baker? Or,
I have no idea. I don't know.
I missed all of that excitement, or rather, I missed that gene, or whatever it is that people just have. Oh, I have to get a picture of us together.
Even celebrities sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
First of all, half of them I wouldn't know who they are. I have to ask my wife, who's that?
You know, speaking of that, I do fairly well on Jeopardy.
Yeah, I watched Jeopardy almost every night.
And I God, I had a good night one night last week. Man, I was hotter than a cheap pistol.
Okay.
But I got to tell you something. When they start talking about celebrities or rock groups,
I'm
well, yeah, that's when I get up and go to the bathroom.
Get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, get myself something, some potato chips or something. Boy. Well, Bill Clinton's remarks on page 1. This is good. Here's Bill Clinton making a pitch for his wife recently in Spokane. But if you believe we can all rise together, if you believe we've finally come to the point where we can put the awful legacy of the last 8 years behind us and the 7 years before that, he's talking about the Obama
He certainly is.
8 years.
Where's the buddy?
Even Obama can't, it seems to me, miss the fact that that was a slam, first class.
Of course it was.
The Clinton strategists, as a sop here to this article, Clinton strategists concluded months ago she had no choice but to embrace Obama and his policies because Obama is popular with precisely the voters Clinton needs in order to assemble a winning coalition. So that seems to run directly counter to what Billy said.
That shouldn't surprise you.
No, I guess not.
If you take this whole campaign, there's so many contradictions and nonsensical.
This in the same Spokane speech, I guess. No, just to show that the Spokane speech wasn't a fluke. Bill has also taken to explaining that the real reason this election is so crazy is that 80% of the American people haven't gotten a pay raise since the crash.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
And a lot of people lost a lot of money on
they
what they
did.
were making because they lost the good paying jobs.
well, they did, and you see them working at Home Depot and McDonald's as shift leaders, and I mean, it breaks my heart to see some guy 50 years old that had a professional job, that was working for General Electric or one of its subsidiaries and making a darn good year's pay and being a valuable performer on a team, and then see that business just crater and him get laid off, and he works 28 hours at Home Depot. They won't give him 30 because that's a different. And then he works as many hours as he can at McDonald's or Burger King or one of those places.
No, I
and
saw
combines the two and still falls 50% short of what he was making.
I used to get General Dynamics on in Connecticut was one of my accounts. And I got to know quite a few of the engineers in there. I was in there a lot with them. And then all of a sudden they would lose a contract or the contract would run out. These guys went from well into $120,000, $150,000 a year to dealing blackjack at Foxwoods.
Yeah.
For $35,000 a year.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a lifestyle, he's got a family and stuff. He had to have another job besides that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was no different when the recession came in and all these companies started laying people off.
Now, the Bath Iron Works up in Maine, they live and die with government contracts. And right now, things are looking pretty good.
I think got some fancy destroyers or something. These stealth type ships.
Yeah, and they've also been told that there's going to be a couple more built, and that they better prepare for more work going out in 2024 or 2026 or something. So they're looking to build up staff up there.
Sure.
But as fast as that arrives, it can go.
Sure can.
Yeah. So that pretty much tells the story on that. By the way, I see ghosts and all kinds of things. I see plots when they're on, and I'm.
Well, you must have some great conspiracy theories.
Man, I have some great nightmares, I'll tell you. Not really nightmares, but I have weird dreams. And I won't say the preponderance of my dreams, but I'll tell you one common occurrence in my dreams is like 1959, 1960, 1961, when I started working at the Foxborough Company in the stockroom. I find myself in that damn stockroom 2 nights a week, I'll tell you.
I find that's a common occurrence as you get older.
Yeah.
Another one, I lose my car.
And the Army.
Once in a while I get called back, but not too often.
Yeah, I find myself over in Hohenfels.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I lose my car.
You
I
lose
go out
your
back
car?
to the parking lot. I knew exactly where it was. It wasn't there.
I have this absolute nutty. I can't help it. I have this fear of drowning.
Okay.
To the point where I'm not interested in the boat going out.
Oh, that's fair.
I don't mind my canoe. I enjoy that. Anything bigger than the canoe, I'm not interested in going out in. And I used to go out deep sea fishing with Dave Ryder down at Chatham all the time, but something happened. And boy, I'll tell you, nope. You couldn't get me to go on a cruise, or just wouldn't do it.
Another common dream that I had past 3-4 years, and I only recently read that it's a very common. I screwed up something in college, and I went through 4 years, and all of a sudden there was this history course that I didn't even know I had to take. And now it's a week or two before graduation. Now I'm not going to graduate. And then you wake up and you say, you fool, you graduated 50 years ago.
Oh, folks, I know that this is going to cause a petition and you're all going to want me institutionalized, but I can't help it. This is, I had a reoccurring dream, I don't know, for 20 years probably. Duane,
What is it?
you
I
spent,
probably had the same one.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
I'm in my motel room, in my underwear.
Okay.
I hear a knock at the door. I think it's the newspaper. I go out looking for the newspaper, and the door locks
The door shuts
behind me.
behind you. That's a common one too.
Yeah.
I forget my pants.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
walking down the sidewalk. Why the hell did I put pants on?
I have to walk down to the office
Yeah.
and tell them I locked myself out.
That's pretty common.
Oh, God. And I wake up on those, I'll tell you.
If there's a psychiatrist out there, they have a field day with us.
Now, I started this whole thing about this.
We
Here's
get
what.
off topic faster than Trump does.
Here is something very interesting. Oh, let me just back up. I'm getting out of order. The Boston Globe runs a phony front page predicting the various tragedies that will unfold when Donald Trump is elected president.
I thought that was really low.
That is about as low
as you can
as
get.
you can get.
Do you know, I followed up, I counted the letters. I knew it was going to generate a lot of letters.
Oh, yeah.
I counted the letters. There was about 12 of them praising it. 2 had slightly criticized it.
Yeah.
But you can't, unless everybody that thinks like you and I can't write, there had to be about equal number, if not the other way. But they just don't print the part they want.
Well, now, I'm glad you're bringing this up. I felt the same way as you, exactly the same way. However, at a couple of get-togethers of late, where adults gather and we talk about things at a party or something, and I noticed that when there are 6 or 8 people kind of gabbing together, there are certain people that will not say, you know, I'll vote for Trump. Because I think he's a straight shooter. I think he's boisterous and all, but he's certainly better than her.
Yep.
They won't say that.
There's a lot of circles that are afraid to speak up.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
And I'll be willing to bet you there was an awful lot of people that said,
That's
I
right.
am not going to write to the Globe.
Yeah,
Number
probably.
one, it's going to be a waste of time.
Yeah.
Number 2, they'll probably cut it into pieces anyway. And number 3,
That's a good point.
but anyway, so I thought that this seals the deal with me. I'm canceling the Globe again. I already did. I allowed them to send me some free ones. I canceled them. John Henry is the guy at fault here. He owns the Red Sox. He owns Liverpool.
Well, that's right, he does.
Yep.
Doesn't he?
And he's at fault. I don't care if he says it's a hands-off operation. I take care of sports. My wife takes care of that.
I was hoping for a little more balanced paper once he bought it.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. It's
changed.
all now. It is all. I've got it here someplace, but anyway, it is all bashing Trump and legalizing marijuana, and there's one other thing they're on all the time, but there is no balance to that paper at all.
No.
And Yvonne Abraham, in a fair world, should be consigned to working for the Attleboro Sun Chronicle too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she is dreadful. Now, but anyway, I've really gone off the deep end here, but I'm coming to my point.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
What do you think of the 8 people that were slaughtered out in Ohio? That story.
That was brutal, and I don't know there's got to be a backstory on that.
There is.
Is there?
There is.
What is that?
But you're not going to read it in the Globe.
Okay, that's all I get now.
Yeah, I know it. but you're not going to find it there. I found it in the Herald, and I found it in the Sun Chronicle. Hundreds of pot plants
Oh, see, I didn't know the Globe didn't cover that.
are there at the massacre site.
Yep.
Executions, methodical, pot-growing operations found at scenes in
Oh, yeah,
Ohio.
okay.
Why, pray tell, won't the Globe print that?
The Globe's the Globe.
And I'll tell you why. Because they are knee-deep in pushing this legalizing marijuana.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yep. So, shall we write about a horrible death toll, a massacre that was caused by illicit marijuana? No, that's not the message we want to give. Now, if anyone can show me an article where the Globe talked about this, I will apologize. But I have looked at the Globe every day since this happened, and
Don't
I
hold your
can't
breath. I
find
didn't see
it.
anything that day.
The Globe, oh, here it is. It's all Hillary all the time, all legalizing pot all the time, all open bathrooms all the time, and all bashing Charlie Baker all the time, and all bashing Trump all the time. And this is John Henry's work. He owns the Globe, and the buck stops with him.
It sure does.
So there. I'll still watch the Red Sox. So.
Okay.
Clear thinking from our president. What I'm about to say is something I've suspected,
Okay.
but this is how he feels, and I am convinced this is right on. We are in a war. The president says no. This is just the normal disruptions that occur when mentally unsound people act out. The president said in the Atlantic Monthly interview, you got to get your seatbelt on for this one. I know there's a revolution, a split in Islam with the radical group. I understand that. But I cannot discuss this with the American people because there would be a backlash in this country against Muslims if I did.
Well, he refuses to face reality, too. Don't forget, he called the psychiatrist, the major psychiatrist at Fort Hood that killed all the people. That was not
Workplace violence.
That's all that was.
That's
Well,
right.
it's not that all that was, but that's the excuse. It was workplace
That's right.
violence.
And for the same reason.
Yep. And he would not bend on that either.
Now, I cannot discuss this with the American people because there would be a backlash in this country against Muslims if I did, because the American people are too stupid to understand my reasoning.
Yeah,
That's the part that got left out.
Yep. Well, he was that from day one. You know, I'm so superior.
Yep. In other words, now I'm starting to okay, here we go. In other words, now this is a little bit of me. The American public, white folk, are too stupid to understand the truth when I speak it. Why he doesn't talk about this problem, part 2. Now, the terrorists are getting in the way of his programs. He doesn't want to get bogged down with this because his other issues are more important, and this is what he really wants to rally support around. Closing Gitmo, climate change, and changing the way children eat. They must eat healthier. So, there it is. And now, that was one of his former advisors who said that.
Mm-hmm. Plus, he's searching for a legacy yet.
Yeah, that's it.
He
exactly.
wants to go out with a legacy. I think work with Cuba, open up Cuba a little more. That's your legacy. It's safe. It doesn't hurt anybody. Just goodbye.
It's probably something we should have done 40 years ago or
It
30
was silly
years ago. I mean, this was to hurt the poor people down there. Was and also to ignore the plight of the Haitians too. We could be doing a hell of a lot more good there.
Yeah, right in our backyard.
Okay, now I've got a question for you. So I'm going to give you a set of circumstances here.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the names of certain groups. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, The View, Two Broke Girls, Survivor, Criminal Minds, The New Odd Couple, Dancing with the Stars, and Mike and Molly. Now, what conclusions are we to draw from this smorgasbord of so-called entertainment?
You're asking probably the wrong person. I only watch Survivor because my wife likes Survivor. I have never seen most of them. Maybe just casually. If it's on, I don't pay any attention to it. And it's just something I don't watch. The Kardashians, I never understood that stupid thing.
According to Bill Crane, this is the clearest evidence to date that the end of civilization as we know it is near.
Yep. My wife gets mad when I criticize Survivor. Because I say, it's like junior high school. They're, let's get this one, let's do this one, let's do that. I said, little plots. I said, this show would be so much more interesting if it was real Survivor. Stake them on an island with no food, no water, and the last one that gives up says, take me or rescue me, and it's the winner. This is not Survivor.
Unbelievable.
And then they always complain they haven't had food. They'll show a big boa constrictor sliding by or a monkey or something. I said, why don't they kill them and eat it?
Absolutely.
They can't.
Snakes are fine. If you're hungry, all bets are off.
Well, one year they killed a wild pig, a baby pig or something. PETA and the rest of the people went nuts.
So what should they do? Kill a loaf of bread or something?
Yes.
And a pound of ham? Yeah. Good Lord. Well, here's something that's going to upset you.
I'll bet.
From the WWF or the WWE, whatever it's called these days.
The wrestling people?
Yep.
Okay. We used to be the F, it's E now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We get word that female wrestler Chyna has died at the age of 46 after battling addiction for years.
I saw that in the paper.
So I feel badly.
Yep.
I mean, boy, oh boy, not her fault.
No.
And she,
of course,
battling addiction, you know. Oh, good Lord.
That Time magazine this past week was 100 most influential people.
Oh, yeah.
Guess who's on there? Caitlyn. Caitlyn Jenner.
That's it.
Yep.
All the signs, the stars are aligned.
Oh, yeah.
This is the end of civilization.
I said that would be one of the most influential people I'd vote for.
Oh. Well, I put this one out of order because I wanted to make sure I talked about it. But it's got to follow this. So, we'll just keep on clunking along here. The Globe.
Yep.
I haven't punished the Globe quite enough yet. This is on page 1. GOP learning to live with once unthinkable prospect, Trump. Matt Weiser, he must be a hell of a nice young fella. Hollywood, Florida. The country's top Republicans gathered last week at a posh resort overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, dining at restaurants where porterhouse steaks go for $105
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
and sipping martinis in a hotel atrium filled with palm trees and gurgling fountains. Outwardly, then, it seems like business as usual for the power brokers and influentials of the Republican National Committee attending their spring meeting.
Yeah.
Now, would you
Expose.
care to research the last time they wrote about the Democratic National Committee? Do you think that they talked about them eating $105 porterhouses?
Not too long ago, several months ago, they ran an ad or an article on Romney's ranch, someplace in Colorado up in the mountains, and how all his bigwig friends were there, and they were playing golf and riding horses and staying in this immaculate place. And it was like, oh, them dirty Republicans. A week later, Hillary or Obama comes to town, and they're selling $125,000 a person to have dinner with him. And how wonderful that was.
They had another one of those not too long ago out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
It was like it was an odd number, like $138,500 to sit at one of the main tables.
One, it was
president.
bad. The other one was just, what a wonderful opportunity.
But
You can't win with that paper. That is going to spin.
well, here's my girl, Yvonne Abraham.
Oh, God.
Boy, I'll tell you, if I
Which
was
one is it?
single, I'd call
Trump's
her
girl.
up and ask for a date.
Yeah, I'll bet you would.
Trumpism's cruelty.
Yeah.
But it's not about Donald Trump.
No. it's
Nothing to do with him at all. It's all about Paul LePage, the governor of Maine,
Yep.
who is abrupt and a fiscal conservative, and takes y'all like this. The gun-loving, tax-hating LePage told the NAACP to kiss my butt after they criticized him for not attending MLK Day celebrations.
I didn't think that was bad. I thought that gave him credit for having some balls.
He's reportedly demonized immigrants, and it just goes on and 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 on here.
Yeah.
But
I don't live in
Gets-
these people's world, so I don't.
before Trump, LePage saw the electoral usefulness of the disaffection and hurt among struggling working people. He won those people over not by offering solutions, but by giving them targets for their anger, the people who would take the guns. I'm telling you, but up here, it's Trumpism.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to have the headlines like that. If you don't, who's going to read the article?
Now, suppose John Henry picked up the phone and said, Yvonne, you're off the reservation with this. What the devil are you doing?
Yep.
Oh, no. You say, I'm going to fly to Liverpool to see the game. And
But you got to put Trumpism up on the top to get anybody to read
yeah.
it.
What?
If you put LePageism,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
what percent you wouldn't even know who the hell LePage is.
Nobody would even
They wouldn't bother
look
reading
at
it.
the article.
Yeah.
When talk isn't cheap, in the 2 years after she left the post of Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton made $21.6 million giving 94 paid speeches.
Yep.
And she will not release the speeches.
Yep.
She will not. This is good. Clinton responded to the request yet again Thursday, saying, when everybody else agrees to do that, I will as well, because I think it's important we all abide by the same standards. Well, the only other person is Bernie, and he hasn't made any speeches. So what the heck is she talking about?
Well, then, last week, we were a couple of weeks, you guys are a couple of weeks ahead of us right now, but last week she made a mention but criticized Trump's money and his mansions in these planes. Well, they showed she's got a couple mansions worth over each one about $2 million.
Yeah.
She's got a private jet. I mean, come on, that's a pot calling the kettle black.
She spoke to heart doctors. $275,000. I like this one right here. These next two. This is my two favorites. You tell me what she possibly could talk to these people about.
I don't know.
I spoke to the American Camping Association. $260,000.
She wouldn't know how to get in a sleeping bag.
Hell no. This is good too. I spoke to auto dealers. $325,000.
The same response to this article about the planes and the houses. Somebody who discovered Hillary hasn't driven a car in 30 years. She has limos and stuff and a driver.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Well, boy, she won't release the transcripts of what they talked about.
No, of course not. 'Cause she's a hypocrite.
She is.
Total.
Well, okay, now I'm getting to where I wanted to be. Parole urged for ex-Manson follower.
Oh, yeah. What was her name there?
Leslie Van Houten.
That's it.
Yep. Well, Leslie has been in jail for more than 4 decades. She's 66 years old.
Yeah, so?
A one-time homecoming princess. She has been, she asked for parole for 20 consecutive times.
Of course, you ask every time.
On the 20th, they have agreed that she's eligible for parole. Now, she's been in jail over 4 decades. She was sentenced to life imprisonment. 4 decades is not life imprisonment.
Well, when you say gives a life sentence today, it's, quote, life.
That's it. I mean,
particularly today.
yeah.
I mean, it was...
This murders the LoBianca family and the pregnant actress Sharon Tate.
Yep.
They cut her open.
Yeah, they did.
And pulled the fetus out of her while she was alive. They tortured these people.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks she deserves to get out. Now, the interesting thing is that for the 19 previous times, she refused to accept responsibility in this murder, torture thing. The 20th time, she admits placing a pillow over, I think, Bianca's wife's face, and she also, even though she doesn't want to talk about it, she kind of got involved in the stabbing too, and all of that. Look, she was part of it, okay? But, well, guess what? The reason Van Houten was the youngest Manson follower to take part in the killings after she descended into a life of drugs and joined Manson's cult. Well, there we are.
There you go again.
It's the drugs that made her do it.
Not my fault.
Yep.
Not my fault. Somebody else did it.
She's a horrible woman, okay? And she does not deserve to get out. But boy, I'll tell you what, I can get just as outraged about this one getting out.
Oh, yeah, the
Annie Dukin.
Yeah.
Now, Annie Dukin falsified thousands upon thousands of chemical tests on drugs at the state crime lab so that they could get convictions.
Case closed.
Yep.
Throughout.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the test. Yep, that's cocaine, all right. Now, what's happened is this was uncovered. And guess what? The courts are doing. They're ruling on these people one by one.
Yeah, just-
Oh, Andy Dukian did that? Okay, well, you're out. You're free.
Yep.
Get out. Now, because of her doing this, how many guys have walked out of that prison, gone back to dealing this poison, killing people,
Yep.
or, worse yet, getting involved in gang wars,
Yep.
killing
Oh.
other people, other dealers? I would guess that she's responsible for more people dying
I
than
saw,
Leslie Van Houten was.
I saw something about that, and I don't want to quote it for certain, but it was either her or somebody else when they released all these prisoners for various technicalities. 44% in 30 days were back.
Yep.
75% were back in 60 days.
Yep. She got 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Now, that was a plea bargain,
Of course it was.
but they could have tossed her in the can for a good long period of time. Jeepers creepers. But, you know, they're releasing Leslie Van Houten and they're releasing her. Well, I'll tell you, life imprisonment, that's not how we do it here in Massachusetts. We are civilized and compassionate. We release criminals.
That's right.
And there's the living proof. Right there. Oh, man, I'm telling you, I didn't think we'd get through all this stuff, but we did. But guess what, folks?
We're getting to the end.
We're getting towards the end. What you got?
Well, next time I want to say, watch where you're driving out there. Texting's a lot more problem than you think it is. 4 hours time, Bridgewater, they made 110 ticket arrests for texting.
Yep.
100 texts in Attleboro
Yep.
within hours.
And you know, we have an ideal situation right in the center of Norfolk, where you've got that wall around the town hill.
Yep.
A cop could stand up on that in plain clothes and look right down into cars,
Yeah.
and with the old handheld says, yep, the black Buick, grab that one, to the guy that's downstream a little ways.
You bet.
And you could get 100 of them a day right in Norfolk.
Texting is dangerous.
It is deadly.
Yep.
Bad stuff.
And it's a lot more common than you think. Yeah, they got someone were driving with their knees.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it in the
got their-
middle lane.
they could use
I
their
had a
knees to
girl
drive.
pass me on the outside lane in a Toyota Corolla reading a book
Yep.
and on the cell phone both.
Jeez.
Oh. Well, friends, we've just got the signal that we've got to ring the curtain down. I
Nice
know
see
this
these people
is
again.
heartbreaking, but I promise you this, we'll be back. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another dandy show. I've got it all done. I'm ready to go. And we will be back. We thank you for watching. Have a great night.
Good night.
Salute the flag.
Adios.